Y'all asked for it, so it's here. We're gonna be talking about the power of words and manipulation this episode, and I'm just gonna dive straight into it because I can relate to both sides of the party. I can relate to being the person who's manipulating, and I can also relate to the person that's being manipulated. And I wanna talk about how that can shape our reality into a distorted way of thinking. Like, it literally, it's a fantasy, but we'll get into that later in the video. But I just want to say I'm being really vulnerable in this video by saying my part in it, because I feel like when you talk about these kind of things on a video, it's always like pointing the finger, like, okay, like, you're being manipulated, so this is what you do, you know what I mean? I want to give it from both point of views, because I've grown and changed, and I don't do these techniques anymore, but I do want to take accountability for just the type of manipulation I was doing. And then if you see a similar pattern, I want to show you that you can leave those patterns behind. You don't have to carry that in your life with you, because as we know, we're all programmed. Like, we literally learn our behaviors as we grow. You can't really blame yourself, but the only reason you can blame yourself is if you're not doing anything to change those patterns. So here we are. I'm gonna dive straight into it. I'm not gonna waste no more time. I just want to start off by going into some commonly used phrases that manipulators will use. I kind of wrote them down. So we're just gonna start with invading your reality, talking about like you're overreacting, stop being so sensitive. I never said that. You're imagining things. I am guilty of you're overreacting. I would go and like pick at somebody's brain, like, and I'm gonna say like this was mostly in my relationships, significant other relationships, and I would just sit there and like pick. Like, I don't wanna say like it was like a verbal abuse kind of thing, but it was just like, you've pissed me off, now it's my job to get you more pissed off, because you're not gonna piss me off. See how that ego just jumped in? Like, you're not about to piss me off. And now we're doing this energy sucking fucking let's go back and forth exchange. I'm gonna say something so fucked up, right? I'm gonna say something fucked up. Then you're gonna start being like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm gonna be like, you're overreacting. Babe, I was just reacting to you. Like, right there. It's like, girl, that is a manipulation tactic that I have left in the fucking past. You have to realize you're not in charge. The reason for manipulation is because you want to be in control. That's all it is. You want to be in control, so you're going to manipulate any person, place, or thing to go your way. And when it doesn't go your way, you're going to throw a fit like a child, right? I can relate to you. I've been there, done that. I'm in emotional sobriety, so I'm right there with you, Pookie. But even going into the guilt tripping, if you really cared, you would do this. I'm only saying this because I care. After everything I've done for you, this is for your own good. Now, those phrases, the one I really picked up the most is after everything I've done for you. I used to be someone who wanted to rush in and fix and save everybody without them asking me to. I took that obligation on myself, and then when somebody didn't like a suggestion I made, or the things I was trying to change in their life, I'm over there like, after everything I've done for you, I just want what's best for you. Like, no. How do you know what's best for that person? You're going off of what you think is best based off your beliefs, not the other person. And that is not caring about somebody. And I got that confused for so long, because I thought because I was coming in and I was saving and I knew what was best and I can help, that I didn't do anything wrong. In my eyes, truly, before just working on myself, I truly believed I was doing every single action purely off of love and care. No, I wasn't. I didn't like how something was going, so I was going to try to manipulate it to go a certain way. By using those phrases, even doing this episode, I'm so thankful to my psycho breaker for bringing this topic up, because it had me look in a reflection of myself, but also being able to relate to the audience. Because when it came to domestic violence relationships, I was noticing like a lot of these phrases that were used for me. Playing victim was one of them for sure. Talking about, I guess I'm just the bad guy then. I can't do anything right. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. That sentence alone, I've heard it from all of my past abusers. Being repeated over and over to you, the effect that has on your brain, because you genuinely start to blame yourself. If every single boyfriend I have is saying, look what you made me do, I'm eventually going to start thinking, this is a me problem. When in reality, I was being manipulated the whole time. I was getting abused, and a person couldn't take accountability for what they did, so they had to manipulate me and my thinking and make me feel bad. And the kind of thing that does to somebody and what they do in the future, it really trajects like just the direction of your life, because when those kind of situations happen, I mean, especially for me, like I said, you truly start to believe that, and it's a facade. That's not who you are. You were just like literally programmed. It all goes back to programming. Like, our brain is so like sensitive, it picks up everything, that it's like absorbing everything. So if you hear something multiple amounts of time, that is going to start being a thought pattern in your brain, and eventually you're going to start believing in things that are not even true. You start self-manipulating at that point, and it's like not even intentional, it's subconsciously doing it, and you don't even know what you're doing until you get to a situation where you're like, wait a fucking minute. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to kind of get out of those patterns. Like, I want to talk about how we can step away from manipulating others, but also how we can look out for the manipulation tactics being thrown towards us. Minimizing harm. The phrases is, I was only joking, don't take it personally, it's not that big of a deal. I love to use it's not that big of a deal. Why am I minimizing somebody else's feelings? I never noticed I was doing that. I literally thought, like, I'm dictator. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. You're blowing this out of proportion. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, no accountability. That's fucking insane. So the next thing I kind of want to dive into is why empathetic people get manipulated the most. It's because honestly, when I can relate, because I'm a super empathetic person, I feel like it's because I will put someone above myself because I care that much. I have a big heart, so it's like I always am wanting to help. I took that from my personal experience. Like, those are the three main things that I would always think about. Like, when somebody was like trying to like, after everything I've done for you, I mean, I've used that, but I've got that used on me before. That's a taught behavior, and like, I didn't come up with that myself, you know what I mean? So it's like, when I've heard that growing up, now I'm using it for my own benefit, but also getting that reciprocated from other people, and then I'm believing it. Like, it's a literal cycle. And once you start to connect if you literally go back and look at every situation in your life and you really dissect and start pinpointing everything out, you are going to see a pattern that you will not be able to unsee. But I promise you, that is gonna open the gates to freedom for you. Because if you can recognize your part in it, I mean, it's your part, so you can change your life. You know what I mean? You don't have any control over any person, place, or thing, like I've said before, but what we can do is be in charge of our own emotions. So how does negative self-talk become self-manipulation? Talking yourself out of things when you know is right just because it's uncomfortable. For example, just keeping things to myself so I don't have to hurt somebody else. That is a big ass thing, because then I'm negative self-talking me, and I'm like manipulating myself into real, like, it's not that big of a deal. I minimize my own feelings in that situation. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. You know what? Maybe I'm overreacting. I'm just gonna keep this. But when you do that, you keep stuffing the bottle. Like, that, me is a bottle, and I keep stuffing in like my feelings and how I feel and just keep minimizing it. Bro, that is not, like, you're not gonna be able to trust yourself. You're not even gonna be able to trust reality at that point. Like, you're gonna be sitting there and be like, what the fuck, bitch? And like, another big one for me is not wanting to be a burden. Like, I don't want to trouble people with my problems. And like, when I say you keep it in, that's whether you need to tell somebody you don't like the way that they're treating you, or you had something bothering you. Like, you had something come up that's bothering you, and you need to let that out. You cannot keep that pushed in, because our secrets literally kill us. They kill us up here, dude. You cannot keep this all, like, it turns into guilt and shame and lots of other feelings that we need to, I don't want to say avoid, but we're not trying to go down that path. We're trying to grow. We're trying to elevate. And I used to think, I've told you guys before, like, being vulnerable is a weakness. No, it's not. You never know what somebody else has to say to you. You never know who you can help by being vulnerable and sharing your story. So it's just like, just do it. So a lot of the self-manipulation I like to do is weaponize guilt and moving my goalpost. This happens when you use self-talk to deny yourself rest, boundaries, or rewards by tying your worth strictly to impossible standards. For example, you don't deserve to relax because you didn't finish everything on your list today. I am so guilty of that. Like, and especially like just being in environments where it's always go, 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 go. There's never, it's like flight or fight. It's like being in survival mode all the time. You literally start to believe you do not deserve to rest. Nothing is done. Keep going harder. You're not doing enough. When you hear that over and over and over, I'm talking about it again, it's programming, dude. You will start to believe that you really don't deserve rest, and then you're gonna burn out, and then you're not gonna know what's wrong, and then you're gonna fall into bad habits and depressive shit. Like, I'm talking from experience because I just went through it. Like, I got sick and I got that virus, bitch, that parasite, okay? It took me out for a month, but during those 30 days, that's why I've been gone. So don't think I abandoned y'all, okay? But during that time, I literally was just so low vibrational, and I wasn't getting anything done because I was sick, and I wasn't giving myself that grace because I was sick, physically ill, you know what I mean? I'm not going to the gym. I'm not doing my extra little activities like I like to dance and stuff. I'm not dancing. I'm not doing the stuff that makes me feel good. That right there, me not like giving myself, like, and then I'm gonna burn myself out by forcing myself to do things that I physically cannot do. My body had to physically get me sick to put my ass down, to sit the fuck down. It had to get me down. Because I just want to go. And then I'm burnt out, and then I fall into a depressive episode, and then it's a cycle again. We can't keep going the highs and lows. It's always okay to ebb and flow, duh, but we can't do that to ourselves. We got to surrender to the ebbs and flow of life, not to things we can't control, which is ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's just like, take that load off, girl. Like, and I'm going to get into how we can undo the wiring. So hold on. So another one is the protection alibi. So this can be used both ways. This can be somebody manipulating you or you manipulating somebody else. So external manipulators often say, I'm only doing this because I love you, right? We talked about that a little earlier. But you can be doing this to yourself as well. Internal negative self-talk uses the exact same excuse to mask fear as wisdom. For example, don't bother applying for that promotion. You're not ready and you'll just get hurt. Do you know how many, I'm going through this right fucking now as we speak. Like, I am trying to psych myself out, believing I cannot achieve what I want to go after. Like, I'm trying to get into the behavioral health realm, okay? And I'm scared of what? I have to take that step. I have to bite the bullet, no matter how uncomfortable it is. But I really related with masking the fear with wisdom, because I'll be like, no, I know better. I know what's gonna happen. Cause I'm God, right? Like, girl, wake the fuck up. Get out of the delusional land you're living in. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, and that's what's so beautiful though. You don't know what's gonna happen. So just surrender to the flow, I'm begging you. Because yesterday was the first day I finally felt back to myself. And I was back to surrendering to the flow and just being of service and helping out and not thinking about myself, because that's what it all goes down to. Manipulation is just thinking about yourself. So when you focus on love, when you focus on others, it's hard for you to kind of manipulate those situations. So now I'm gonna get into, how do we stop this? You have to interrupt the habit loop. As soon as you start getting those thoughts like, I don't deserve to lay down and watch my show because I didn't do 5 reps at the gym, I only did 3. Pause, you did 3, caught it right there. I did 3, I deserve it. Even if I didn't go to the gym, babe, then how about I take advantage of the moment right then and do a 5-minute stretch? So I can feel better. It's like, you can do the little things and make a little negotiation with yourself. Because like I said before, your brain knows you better than anybody else. So it's gonna keep trying to manipulate you until you fucking do what it wants you to do to feel safe. That's all our brains are trying to do at the end of the day. It wants to feel safe, wants to feel comfortable. That's why the self-manipulation is so easy to creep in, because it's a protective mechanism. Masking the fear is wisdom. And I want to know if you guys can relate to that, because I actually just clocked that for myself right now. So if you're feeling that, if you felt that, if you notice anything that like aligns with you, drop that shit in the comments. Be vulnerable for your cycle breakers, because we're helping one another. Okay? And also, like, when you hear those kind of thoughts, you need to give that shit a name. Like, think about the most disgusting man or woman. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Think about them and give them a name. I just named mine Craig. Craig, get your bitch ass out of here, dude. I'm not listening to you today. I'm not listening to you today. Like, it looks crazy until it works, right? Everything looks crazy until it works. When we think about the first man that made an airplane, everybody thought he was crazy. They only thought the birds could fly, and then he fucking did it, and everyone was like, oh my God! It's only crazy until it works. Just remember that, babe. You can do it. So cross-examine is another good technique to use when you're either getting manipulated or being the manipulator, okay? So you need to sit there and, what is the objective hard evidence for this thought? Force the thought to be highly specific by asking 2 questions. So that was the first question. The second one, is this thought helpful, or is it just trying to keep me hidden? Because I can relate to that one so much, because I mean, I'm not gonna blame it on me being a Cancer, but I'm always trying to hide in my shell. I'm always trying to run. I'm always trying to hide. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to be comfortable. If anything's gonna throw me off, like, I'm like deuces. Like, for example, I mean, I had it happen the other day. Like, I had a situation where I was tested to act on old behaviors versus new behavior. And you know, I chose the new behavior, even though I was super uncomfortable. And I learned something new just by doing it. One, I knew I can take a step while being fearful but still do it, because faith without works is dead. And we're gonna get into that on another episode. I'm so excited for it because it was requested. Faith over fear too. Like, it's just like, there's so many things to apply. Stop being scared. Being scared is the #1 thing that's holding you back. Fear is what? False evidence appearing real. And I think I told y'all the other one, because this one I can really relate to now. Forget everything and run. That's what it makes you want to do. But you're not going to do that because you know yourself. You got this shit. This is nothing. We've been here before. We are reincarnated, but we're not gonna get into that right now. So you need to start doing like behavioral experiments as well. Like when you're talking to somebody and you notice that they're trying to like manipulate you or whatever, just take a step back and be like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and think, if this person's telling me like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna do this. You gotta think about it like, okay, if that is true, is it really going to affect me? 1, 2, is this an emotional threat or is this a real life threat? Like you have to take the situation for what it is and examine it without any opinions or emotional ties involved. Like you have to look at it like black and white. Like honestly, look at the facts. Is this something that's really gonna like happen? Because a lot of people make threats that they're not gonna like carry out. Like let's be honest, I've done it myself. I've made so many threats that are you gonna do it yet? No, because you're scared. No, it's just like people are so emotional that they'll just dish out these threats. They'll do whatever they want when they're angry, when they're sad. Even when they're happy, making false promises to people. It's like, dude, do not make threats. Do not give promises that you do not intend to carry out. So that brings me back, when somebody's doing that to you, really ask yourself, think about their real character. Are they really gonna do it? And if so, that's God just taking care of that for you. You know what I mean? Again, surrendering to the flow. But honestly, that's pretty much it for this video. I really just want to dibble and dabble in it. It's nothing too much, but I just wanted to give you guys a little something to nibble on while I'm getting these other videos in check, because I love y'all. I love this connection we're building. I think there's 60 of you guys now, so I'm like, once we hit 100, bitch, I'm doing a vlog. We're getting a cake. We're doing everything. Like, yes. So share it to your friends, share it to your family, like, comment, subscribe, you know, do all the good things. I'm gonna set my Instagram, TikTok, all the socials in the description box. And I hope this helped you. If it helped you, send it to a friend. Send it to somebody you think that would relate to this video, even if it didn't align with you and your thoughts. You know what I mean? Support your girly. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next episode.